Nora nods. Once she turns away, she lets a small smile slip. The office tower has 16 floors total. Nora works down from floor 16. She pulls an axe from the vault and decides on brute force. A hard crack. The door handle flies off. Nora can hardly believe it. Before, that axe would have felt heavy enough that just lifting her arm would have been a struggle. Now she's splitting doors with it. The system upgrades hit different. She slings the axe away, pulls a bag out, and shoulders through the broken door. The space inside has the feel of an executive office. Big room, landscape painting on the wall. Not her interest. She scans the room. The executive's office has only 2 boxes of tea and a wall of documents. Nothing else. She thinks for a second, then claims the executive's leather chair into the vault. The desk, the chairs, the cabinets, the wooden coffee table. All of it can be split for firewood later. No waste. There's a back room attached to the office. Nora wasn't expecting much. But she finds a small box of condoms in a locked nightstand drawer. Small size, no less. She weighs it, then drops the box in her bag. Knox probably has no use for them. But they trade. The second door is unlocked. Conference room? Tables and chairs into the vault? Honestly, the office tower doesn't have much. But Nora picks up sealed water bottles in every room. Anything unopened goes into the vault. On her way down, she collects 3.5 packs of pads, a case of instant noodles, 20+ snack packs, a stack of bottled drinks. In a supply closet, she finds 10 boxes of toilet paper. That's a serious find. She can't haul it alone, so she goes down to find Knox. The 2 of them carry all 10 boxes back up to floor 4. When Knox sees Nora's find, 6.5 packs of pads, surprise and relief flash across his face. Good, you and Hazel can share. If you can find more, that would be even better. Nora smiles. Yeah, these are luxury items now. Knox half smiles back. Then his eyes land on the small box of condoms. Nora coughs. Also a luxury item. Found it in the boss's office. Could be trade goods later. Knox nods. Right, trade goods. Nora feels her mood lift. They load everything onto the inflatable boat and cover it with a double layer of tarp against the rain. Knox looks up. Heading home now? Nora studies the sky. Actually, there's one more place I want to hit. Close from here. Just not sure if we have time. Knox is firm. If we're already out, let's go. Nora figured he'd be like that. Fine. We use one boat. Stash the other one for now. Knox has no objection. They eat and rehydrate in the corridor, then push off. With both of them paddling now, they move faster. Knox figures out the destination quickly. The place is famous. The most exclusive hilltop villa enclave in the city. No one knows what a single villa here costs. Tens of millions, maybe. No one even knows what they look like. The one thing public knowledge is the count. 16 villas, spread across half a mountaintop. Knox eyes the small mountain ahead. Nora, what are we doing here? Nora answers, everyone here already fled somewhere else. We can clean it out. Knox frowns. How do you know they're gone? This hill isn't flooded. Why would they leave? Because my boss lives here. Rich people get news fast. They bolted to somewhere safer days ago. The real reason, the novel said Slade comes here for supplies. She isn't letting him have it. Knox is still skeptical. Nora explains. You're wondering how I know where my boss lives, right? Knox hesitates, then nods. Nora answers, because my ex-boyfriend was my boss's son. Knox goes still. So when you said your coworker came looking for you that day, that was your ex sending him? Nora rubs her nose. Not exactly. My boss wanted to stockpile and was rallying his staff. Anyone with an address got tapped. The coworker happened to know me. He was trying to come empty-handed and walk out with a fortune. I got something out of it too. Knox, I see. My ex did pass along that my boss had already escaped. Wanted me to come with. Knox stays silent for 2 seconds. Doesn't ask why she didn't go. Nora cuts in. Knox, we're close to the mountain. The current's gonna get unpredictable. Stay sharp. Knox nods. It takes serious effort to reach the road on the mountain. The mountain road is deserted, silent. Nora and Knox haul everything up to the road and stash the inflatable boat. No leaving any boat behind. Take all of them. Once everything is hidden, they walk up the mountain road. About 20 minutes later, they reach the first villa. The other 15 are visible from here. Nora's eyes spark. She turns to Knox. I'm sure no one's here. Let's split up. Knox, fine. Be careful. He hands her a whistle. Found this on the trip with you. If something goes wrong, blow it. We come for each other. Nora smiles. Got it. Knox heads to the second villa. Nora cuts toward the first. The villa door is solid bronze. Nothing she has will cut through it. No matter. The door is reinforced, but the villa has plenty of floor-to-ceiling windows. Nora picks one and shatters it with a hammer. Inside, she sighs. Money really does buy taste. The living room is enormous, decked out lavishly enough to be obnoxious. Even the sofa looks more expensive than her whole apartment. Take it, take it. The decorative pieces are beautiful too, but right now she needs functional. According to the novel, the people who live in this enclave are either old money or politically connected. When they fled, they left in a panic. Didn't bring much. She hits the kitchen first. High-end cookware everywhere. Curious, she picks up a chef's knife and tries it on a carrot from the vault. It glides through. She pulls out a slab of beef. Same result. Now she knows what slicing meat like vegetables actually means. Quality blade. Thinking about settling into this world long-term, Nora takes every piece of kitchen gear in the place. Even the high-end refrigerator with the burned-out coils. Maybe it can be repaired. Maybe it works after a fix. Then she finds 3 bags of Imperial Tribute rice. Nora recognizes this. About $700 a pound, last she heard. Vegetables are spoiled, but some imported fruit is still fresh. She keeps searching cabinets. In a back corner, she finds a case of Australian ham. About 40 boxes. That's protein, and it keeps. She sets it aside. 2 days in, the kitchen doesn't have much fresh food left. But the imported snacks and drinks, still plenty. She decides to check the basement. Rich people stash the good stuff downstairs. The basement opens onto a sweeping gray sofa set in the middle of an enormous lounge. Nora likes the style, but she already has one. She walks past the first door, wine cellar, 3 walls of wine. The only one Nora recognizes is Mutai, so she takes everything. A few bottles are stored separately, presumably more valuable. She bags those apart. Next room, home theater. She takes a single sofa, then a gym. Equipment everywhere. She has no interest. Last room, the garage. The lineup makes her want to whistle. An Aston Martin worth 7 figures, a Maserati, 2 Lamborghinis, a Ferrari Enzo. Nora shakes her head. Whoever lives here has a thing for supercars, but this is the apocalypse. She doesn't want any of them. What catches her attention is what's next to them. 2 paragliding suits hanging on a glass-paneled wall. Someone in this household had the adrenaline bug. Probably brought the gear back as a trophy after an adventure trip abroad. Nora thinks for a beat, then takes both suits. In a hidden cabinet below, she finds an actual paraglider canopy. Upstairs, floor 2, the master suite has to be up here. Nora finds the women's walk-in closet. Wall-to-wall designer bags, accessories, heels, luxury goods don't trade for a grain of rice right now. She isn't excited, but she still takes everything. Not for the value. Just so Slade can never use any of it to flirt his way into a harem. She also takes this 7-figure mattress further in, the study. This is where the owner spent time. Walls of books. Hard to say if anyone actually read them. The wooden furniture is high grade, burns well. She clears the bookshelves into the vault, and once the shelf is gone, a hidden door is revealed in the wall. She tries the door. Doesn't budge. An ordinary hammer won't break a metal panel like that. Worth opening? There has to be something serious behind it. But valuable doesn't mean useful. She goes back and forth. Then her curiosity wins. She pulls her area effect weapon out of the vault. The hydraulic door cutter, safe, quiet, efficient, eats every kind of door. Nora doesn't want to risk damaging it with impact. She mounts it and flips the switch. A muted crack. The hidden door opens. Nora slips the cutter back into the vault and pushes through. Then she goes lightheaded. The entire room is gold. Nora knew rich people had money. She didn't expect this much. They turned a room of their own house into a vault. That much gold. How much is it worth? The gold wall isn't plated, it's grid-mounted. Each cell holds a single gold bar, the way you display wine. She doesn't even count the cells, she just takes them all. With the vault as her cheat tool, she gets an instant readout. Several 100 million tetras worth of bullion. Maybe more. So the supercar fanatic was the small spender of the household. A few cars only, really. She keeps surveying the room. There's an antique shelf in the corner. Vases, decorative pieces, calligraphy scrolls, old paintings. She has no clue if any of it is real. She takes it all anyway. Then in a corner, a safe. Strange. If you have a hidden room, why a separate safe inside it? Something more valuable than gold? Opening it is easier than the door. Like the highway hall, she just absorbs the safe hole into the vault. She extracts the contents out. The most surprising thing, no gold inside, no jewels, just a notebook and a stack of documents. She opens the notebook. That bitch is finally dead. Ha ha ha. July 10th, 1992. Finally made enough money to hire someone to take that bitch out. May 10th, 1995. Making money is easy, but I prefer gold. January 21st, 2001. I'm a successful real estate developer now. My empire will cover this whole country. Everyone is gonna buy a house from me. Pay up. I bought a lot of gold. Every time I look at it, I'm happy. The people who looked down on me back then, who called me poor, who humiliated me, they have to be regretting it now. They'll see me differently. Nora's eyebrows go up. She wasn't expecting confessions, but she isn't here for it. She flips forward. Gift to 2 apartments. 2 million tetras. Gift to 1 apartment, 1 car, 600,000 tetras. She flips to the end. Someone's been warning about unusual solar activity. Could something actually happen? More than half of these things are scams. So many governments haven't caught it. How could one person spot it alone? Needs specialty metals to block particles from a solar superstorm? Need a ship? Am I insane? But it's only a few million tetras. Call it pocket change. The last entry? We won. They told us the sun god will be angry in half a month. Move now. But what do I do with all this gold? Can't take it out. I'm leaving the house to that mother-in-law. Ha ha ha. The bitch won't be smiling long. Nora stares. She read the novel. She knows the male lead never finds this place. Did something in this world shift? System. What's the deal here? The system answers. This is the Noah Order. Nora remembers. The Noah Order. A consortium of the obscenely wealthy that emerges in the late stages of the apocalypse. Members from all over the world. One of the final tier antagonists the male lead faces. She didn't expect a member to leave gold for her to find. But she also doesn't understand why this person didn't destroy the diary or hide it better. Something went wrong for them. Whoever they were, Nora finds the Noah Order structure off. First, an organization full of obscenely rich people, all knowing the secret. How is there not one leak? Second, that many rich people quietly liquidating and investing in something massive, and no government catches it? But however absurd the author's world building is, it exists in this reality now. She flips through the documents. Property deeds? Land grants? Stock certificates? Other paperwork? Nothing useful, outside of confirming the diary owner's name. At the bottom of the stack, an envelope. She opens it. A Noah Ark boarding pass, plus a coded card. The card lets the bearer bring 4 others aboard. Nora keeps the envelope and the diary. Everything else goes back in the safe. Nothing else in this villa matters. She gathers her finds and heads for the second one. She steps in and spots something good immediately. An overland RV, a heavy-duty off-road motorhome parked in the courtyard. High-clearance tires. From outside, it looks like a military transport. She absorbs it on the spot. Then opens a window and enters the villa. This one feels lived in. less ornamental. The kitchen has actual stocks of food and bottled drinks, not the priority. She leaves them on the ground floor and heads to the basement. She wants to find the RV keys, comes up empty. Just 2 more cars, a sports car and a Mercedes V-Class 6-seater. She takes the V-Class, no keys. She loads the wine cellar and a stockpile of premium cigarettes into the vault. She finds the keys to all 3 vehicles on floor 3. She's thrilled. She runs the cars out of the courtyard, unlocks the RV. First impression? Space. Unlike a standard RV, this interior is luxurious. The lounge has a U-shaped leather sofa, wrapping 7 or 8 people, built-in shower, built-in kitchen, full appliance suite, a rear sleeping zone, 4 or 5 people, easily. Solar panels on the roof, currently fried. This RV checks every box she had for a mobile home. Even if she can't repair the solar, when she needs to be out in the world, she has a home that moves with her. Perfect. If she can fix it, even better. Nora smiles and absorbs the RV. Then she keeps scavenging. 4 more villas later, the sky starts to dim. Knox comes over to her with a pile of his own finds. There's too much. We can't haul it all today. Want to stay the night here? Nora thinks. I'm fine with that. But what about Hazel? Want us to go back and come tomorrow instead? Knox shakes his head. I told her before we left. We might not make it back tonight. Nora hadn't realized he'd already planned for it. Fine. We grab a bit more, then come back to this villa for the night. Knox sets his finds down. You keep searching. I'll head down the mountain and bring our cash up. Don't want it sitting out overnight. Nora pauses. Both of us. More hands, less trips. Right now, every small item is worth its weight in gold. And the 2 of them had already burned through their energy at the convention center. By now, Nora is wrecked. They walk back to the villa to drop everything off. Nora drops onto the sofa without a word. Every muscle aches. Knox digs a chocolate bar out of a weave bag. Calories first. Nora's eyes water. She takes the chocolate, tears the wrapper, and eats. Knox hands her a bottle of imported juice and opens one for himself. Nora finishes both. She feels herself coming back. Before all this, if work got this hard, I'd have screamed at my boss. Knox half laughs. Sit, I'll heat some water. The villa lost power and gas hours ago. Heating water means making fire. Knox finds a toolkit in the hall. He takes an axe, splits the living room chairs for firewood, stacks them in the fireplace, and lights it. Firelight fills the room. Nora feels warmth. Knox brings pots out of the kitchen. The biggest one goes by the fire to heat water. The other 2, he rinses rice, washes Chinese sausage and diced carrot, and sets a simple clay pot rice on the embers. He found some bok choy in the villa kitchen. He uses half of it, rinses it, drops it into the pot. Nora marvels. You have so much energy. Knox is adding wood. He pauses. Habit. As a kid, training was way harder than this. Nora wants to help. Her body refuses. She's starving and now drowsy. Knox finishes loading the fire and turns back. Want fruit first? Found oranges and apples in one of the villas. Nora hesitates. No. Seeing she won't move, Knox gets up, peels 2 oranges, and hands them to her. Nora asks, You're not eating? Knox shakes his head. Fruit is for you and Hazel. I'm fine. Nora says, You're good to your sister. Knox, she's all I have. Our mother passed early. Our father didn't bother with us. Remarried in under 6 months. A beat. Eat the orange. I need to get out of these waterproofs. Nora nods. She watches Knox take his pack into a first-floor room. She has nothing to do. She bites into the orange. Sweetness floods her mouth. Her mood lifts. When Knox comes back out in dry clothes, Nora lifts her chin at him. Got one left. Try it. Knox freezes. I really don't need it. She knows what he's thinking. Fruit is hard to get. Knox wants to save anything vitamin-rich for his sister, Hazel obviously, and Nora. But she knows she has plenty of her own. She doesn't need food. Knox is rationing. Nora answers, If you won't eat it, leave it. I'm not having more. Knox is quiet for 2 seconds. He picks up the orange and sits by the fire. With the fire going, Nora takes her waterproofs off too. She breathes easier. The pot starts to bubble. The smell of food spreads. Nora's hunger doubles. She blinks at the pot. Nox laughs at her face. Another 10 minutes. Nora cuts in fast. No problem. I can wait. About 6 minutes later, Nox uses a wet cloth to lift the lid and drops the bok choy in. The smell deepens. Every day, Nora eats out of the vault stores. The food is good, but it's all restaurant pickup. The flavor is too rich, too dense. This simple clay pot rice tastes like home cooking. 5 more minutes. The pot comes off the fire. Nox lays the hot pad on the coffee table and sets the pot down. He sits on the floor across from Nora. Nora lifts the lid with the cloth and gets hit by the smell hard enough that her eyes well up. She hasn't eaten all day. She doesn't wait. She scoops up rice and sausage and bok choy. She blows on it twice and takes a bite. So good. Nox laughs. Seaweed soup isn't done. Pace yourself. Nora throws him a thumbs up. After the meal, Nora feels born again. The water is boiling. Nox asks, "Want to shower first?" Nora tilts her head. "You go. I want to check the closet for clean clothes first." Nox doesn't push back this time. Next morning, both of them in waterproofs again. Back to scavenging. In the second villa of the day, Nora finds another hidden room. She opens it eagerly. Then her face goes blank. Not gold. Not antiques. The hidden room is full of adult novelty gear. Steel pipes, costume sets, whips, candles, a lot of cuffs and rope. She thinks for a moment. She takes the candles and cuffs. The cuffs especially. Could be useful. She closes the door behind her and leaves the rest for the homeowner. The rest of the hall is more ordinary. Beyond food and water, 3 sofa sets, 4 7-figure mattresses, 1 RV, 3 high-end V-class vans, mostly gold trinkets that flip easy for cash. And cash. Rich people villas have plenty. She gathers roughly 1 million tetras, useful as fire starter. The small stuff is past counting. What pleases her most? Every cutting tool here is sharper and better made than the knives she ordered online. Around noon, they meet at the villa where they slept. The pile of loot is a small mountain. Nox whistles. 4 trips won't move all of this. Nora didn't expect this much either. What do we do? 2 boats? Nox frowns. It's a long row back. You up for that much paddling? Nora runs the math. Her body's been upgraded. Should be fine, Nora says. And we have time. 2 trips fits. Nox nods. His eyes settle on her. The hall isn't the problem. The problem is who notices when we get back. Nora doesn't care. Let them try. Nox can't help laughing at her confidence. They move half the hall down the mountain first. The rest stays in the villa. Going back in daylight is easier than the night trip in. They're moving with the current. About an hour and they'll be in range of the residential complex. They paddle slow with the load. Coming up on a building along the way, someone spots them. He doesn't know when Nora and Nox left. He shouts, "A boat! A boat! A boat heading for our complex." The air freezes. A second later, it erupts. The shout snaps awake every face in the neighborhood. People press against windows. Rescue boat? You ever seen a rescue boat with just 1 boat? Then why is it coming to our building? In Nora's own tower, faces are at the windows too. Hazel's face is alight. Her hands clench at the excitement. On floor 20, Travis Wynn's expression is hard to read. When he spots the inflatable boat below, he can't quite believe it. He bolts downstairs. On the way he passes Hazel. He pretends not to see her. He's locked onto the boat. Hazel doesn't care about him either. Compared to yesterday, the water has risen sharply. Floor 4 is under. The floor 5 windows are sealed. Hazel hurries to a window to unlatch it. Travis gets there first. He grips her wrist. "And what are you doing?" Hazel jerks free. "What's wrong with you? My brother's outside. Don't you see him?" Travis throws a cold look out the window, then a colder smile. "You can open it." After they hand over half their haul, Hazel's stare goes wild, like she's hearing something insane. She yells, "You're robbing them?" By now, the rest have come down. The whole crowd is at the stairwell door. The boat is fully covered by tarp. Nobody can see what's inside. but every eye burns with envy. Travis addresses the crowd. Everyone, times are hard. They went out and brought back supplies. Doesn't it make sense to share? There are a lot of us. We only ask for half. Yeah, that's not unreasonable. They hand over half and we open the window. For a second, nobody answers. The apocalypse is too new. People are still asking themselves if this is something they can actually do. But if they don't push, do they just let those two waltz back up to their unit? Can anyone stomach that? But can anyone stomach robbing their neighbors? Travis sees the hesitation. One of his men in the self-rescue committee speaks up loud. Right. If they've found supplies, it should go to the committee. We'll distribute fairly. A floor 15 resident grinds his teeth and steps forward. He's right. Half. We're all suffering together. We help each other. More people start nodding. Hazel feels a chill run down her spine. Her hands clench. Do any of you hear yourselves? My brother and Nora risked their lives out there. Where do you get off saying that? Travis exchanges a look with his men. He smiles cold. Then they don't come in. Hazel is about to argue when, crash, the window shatters from the outside. A child screams. The parents rush to shield them. Travis had positioned himself with his back to the window to block Hazel. A shard nicks his shoulder. Hard to tell how bad. Knox stands outside, axe in hand, face flat. Travis didn't expect that. He pulls a hammer from his belt. The weapons aren't matched. Knox is holding a logging axe. Knox flicks his eyes to Travis. Move. Travis stays where he is, confident. And if I don't, you gonna trap me? Knox holds Hazel's eyes for a beat. Brother and sister fought constantly as kids. Hazel knows the cue. With Travis not watching her, she slips back and eases up the stairs. Knox looks at Travis. Sure you don't want to move? Travis grins. What good is an axe when you're standing in a boat? You think you scare me? Let's see who breaks first. Knox says nothing. He sheathes the axe. Travis is delighted. He thinks Knox is folding. Already he's planning to push for 70%. Then Knox slowly pulls the long object off his back, unwraps the cloth, raises the rifle, clicks the safety off. Knox asks, Going to move? Travis goes gray. He grits his teeth. You think a fake gun is going to scare anyone? You wouldn't dare fire it. Nora frowns. Sure enough. Knox tilts the barrel up and fires a single round into the air. The crack hammers every ear in the corridor. By the time anyone can think again, Knox has the barrel leveled at Travis. Want to test the next one, or do you want to try yourself? Travis isn't reckless enough to gamble his life. He grits a "you'll keep" through his teeth and pulls his crowd back. The rest follow. Nobody dares look back. Knox flicks the safety on and slings the rifle behind his back. He turns to Nora. Let's move the hall. Nora steadies his face. Steady, she mutters approvingly. Knox, weren't you worried I'd be scared? Knox is quiet for 2 seconds. You already figured out what it was. Nora smiles. The hall downstairs needs a guard. After a shot like that, nobody will be brave enough to try anything for a while. Knox handles the carrying. For the last load, Nora wants to go up with him so he doesn't have to haul so much alone. Knox shakes his head. Faster solo. The sooner we finish, the sooner Hazel isn't alone. Nora nods. Okay. Once he's gone, the system speaks. Host. Slade is about to reach the convention center. Nora frowns. This fast? Because Host used the crowd to delay his departure, the system says. Speed up, or you'll cross paths with him at the hilltop. Nora thinks. Got it. She absorbs one of the boats back into the vault. Only one left on the water. When Knox comes back down, Nora says, Rest, I'll paddle. We swap in 20. They slip out the window. Nora makes Knox eat chocolate and other supplies for the energy. Then they paddle out of the complex. The rifle shot is still fresh. No faces in any window. No eyes follow them out. Halfway back, the system cuts in. Host, Slade is about to lose it. Nora, what? The system grins. He searched the main hall for ages and came up empty. He moved through the 3 other halls and burned through his oxygen tanks. Best part, he saved 1 tank for backup. Now he's about to burn that one too. He's debating whether to spend his original clan points to replicate another tank. Nora hides a grin and mutters, better that he does. Out money and worse off. The system. Haha. A moment later, the system reports cheerfully. Host.Slade replicated. We don't need to worry now. He'll be searching a while longer. The two of them, operator and system, are cheerful. Paddling feels easier. They reach the mountain road. The transport run is smooth this time. Mid-trip, Nora speaks up. Nox, run this load. I want to check what supplies we're missing. Nox nods. Sure, move fast. I've got this end. Nora gives him an okay sign. Once Nox is gone, Nora bolts to a villa she hadn't searched yet. No careful inspection this time. Anything her eyes land on goes into the vault. She has 500 cubic meters of space anyway. Time is tight. Mission is heavy. Nora moves to leave nothing for Slade. She starts running through rooms, snatching anything in reach. Touch. Gone. La Mer Essence, at 20,000 tetras a bottle. 6, 7 of them. Take. The high-end face cream? Slade isn't getting the skincare advantage. Over 100 lipsticks lined up together. Quite the display. Then the perfumes. Expensive. Endless. Chanel. Hermes. Armani. Versace. Gucci. Even the belts. Slade isn't getting any of it. He likes to peacock, doesn't he? Not anymore. Some of this stuff Nora doesn't even know how to use. Doesn't matter. She can throw it in the water if she has to. Her vault has 1 million bags already. 2 hands can't count them. The apocalypse just neutralized luxury. Why hold on to it? The system speaks. Host. Doing this won't tip Slade off that someone got here first? Nora. If I don't go begging him in 5 days like the original would, he figures out something's wrong anyway. What's the difference now? The system gets it. Nora keeps sweeping. Everything the novel said Slade would use here, gone. She brushes her hands clean and walks out. At the base of the mountain, Nox has the haul loaded onto the boat. Nora walks up holding 5 self-heating hot pot meals out of the vault. She smiles. Found the good stuff. Haven't had this in a while. Nox's eyes light up too. Neither speaks. They push off fast. Coming back into the complex, nobody dares block them this time. Last trip, Nox handled the move alone, so everything went into his unit. Same again this trip. When everything is upstairs, the 3 of them stand looking at the 2 small mountains of supplies. Hazel's eyes glow. There's so much of it, brother. Who did you 2 rob? Nora laughs. Robbed nothing. We scavenged the abandoned. Right, scavenged. Hazel grabs a pack of pads. Oh, I was already worried about this month. You found this much. Villa enclaves are residences. Rich people buy in bulk. The hall reflects that. Hazel keeps muttering. And meat. And, wait, what is this? Fruit. Nora watches Hazel's exaggerated posturing and can't help laughing. Let's split this haul 3 ways, 1 share each? Nox cuts in immediately. No, we only got out because of your boat. And you took me to the Villa Enclave in the first place. Hazel and I take 1 share. That's it. Nora looks at Nox. But you were the one with the rifle downstairs. And it was your side that stayed back to guard the apartment. If somebody had jumped my place while I was out, what then? Nox shakes his head. No, we can't take that much. Nora glances at Hazel and sees she agrees with her brother. She thinks for a moment, then says, Fine, 3 shares. I take 1.5. The rest is yours. Nox considers it. You pick first. The 3 of them divide everything into rough piles. Equal splits are impossible. Some items can't be cut in half, so anything unsplittable defaults to Nora's pick. The 3 inflatable rafts she pulled from the convention center are the obvious example. By their rule, 1 raft would have no clear owner, so Nora picks first. The catch is, her vault already holds plenty of rafts. Back at the expo, she'd been so focused on grabbing supplies that she dumped the duplicates she didn't need, and now she can't really use the extras even if she takes them. The rest of the haul isn't useful to her in any major way either. Seeing her go quiet, Nox says, You can take anything you want. Don't worry about us. Nora lifts her eyes to his. Honestly, there's one thing I want. Hazel jumps in, eager. What? Just say it. If you want more sanitary pads, I'll give you mine too. Knox doesn't say anything. Nora smiles at Hazel, then looks back at Knox. Knox knows what I want. Knox frowns. You don't know how to use it. Nora, Hazel can teach me, and honestly, having a way to protect myself matters more than anything else. Sooner or later, I'll need it. Hazel feels like an idiot. What are you two talking about? Can you just say it out loud? Nora smiles for a moment longer, then says, I want a handgun. Oh my God. Hazel's eyes go wide. Nora, you've got serious nerve. The day Knox brought that rifle home, I nearly jumped out of my skin. And you actually want one? Nora, you saw what happened today. Can I really say no? Hazel thinks about Travis Wynn and quietly glances at her brother. Knox sighs inwardly. You've helped us so much. I don't really have a way to turn you down, but it's dangerous. The weight of carrying one is heavy. Are you sure? Nora says, Knox, you know my old boss ran. If this disaster was something easy to wait out, would he really leave everything in that villa and bolt? You probably found a lot of cash in there, but I'm guessing you didn't take it. If even cash is useless now, what kind of system is still holding? Knox tightens his lips. Finally, he says, I'll give you one, but ammo is tight, and you can't handle the air rifle anyway, so I'll give you a handgun. Nora's eyes light up. A handgun is perfect. I can hide it. Easy to pull when I need it. Knox sighs, turns, and walks back into his apartment. Once he's gone, Hazel says urgently, Nora, are you really going to carry a gun? It still feels dangerous to me. Nora looks at her. Compared to people right now, is it more dangerous than them? Hazel falls quiet. A moment later, Knox comes out carrying a handgun and 2 boxes of ammo. He says, we don't have a lot. Handgun rounds especially. There's less than I'd like. Nora is already satisfied. She'd expected maybe 5 or 6 shots, total. Thank you, Knox. As a thank you, I'll only take half a share from the haul. Knox shakes his head. What's yours is yours. We're in this for the long haul. Plenty more partnerships ahead. Nora thinks a moment. All right, whenever there's danger, I help. After leaving Knox's place, Nora stows everything into the vault. She's burned through nearly half of the new 1,000 cubic meters. Inside, it's chaos, and most of the chaos is the luxury hall taking up space. The last 2 days have left her exhausted. She decides to rest. Sorting can wait until tomorrow. Right then, the system speaks up. Congratulations, host. You have blocked Slade from collecting supplies in the Hilltop Villa Enclave. His losses are devastating. He is in agony over the lost capital. You may choose 2 of the following rewards. Option 1, vault expansion of 500 cubic meters. Option 2, speed +3. Option 3, constitution +3. Nora's fatigue evaporates. Her eyes go wide. All 3, let's negotiate. We have such a great relationship, right? You're my system spirit. I'm your host. Why don't we swap one of those for a different reward? Say, proficiency with a handgun. The system pauses. Congratulations, host. You may select 2 of the following 3 rewards. Option 1, vault expansion of 500 cubic meters. Option 2, speed +2. Option 3, basic marksmanship skill. Nora can't believe it. Why did you cut the numbers? System, host. This is a backdoor deal. The master system can't find out. Nora, fine. I'll take options 2 and 3. Skip the confirmation. Just process it. There's no physical sensation when the speed stat ticks up. But the basic marksmanship skill is something else entirely. Nora feels knowledge get poured into her brain. Instant download. Every detail of operation, every maintenance step, every safety check, all stored in her head. Even pulling the handgun out feels different now, like she and the weapon have known each other for years. This is only basic? Why does it feel like I could already line up a target on someone perfectly? The system says basic level is already excellent. Once it reaches advanced, your skill will rival a national-level competitor. The system adds cheerful, please complete many more missions, host. Nora doesn't answer. She lowers her head, holding the handgun, admiring it, unwilling to set it down. If she could just produce more ammo, life would be perfect. The next morning, Nora wakes up energized. Starting today, the residual effects of the solar superstorm fade out. Meaning, electronics work again. Nora rushes to dig out a backup device and plays an old children's song through the speaker just to hear it. Her phone is back to normal. The audio is smooth, clean, no static at all. This is incredible. Nora is so happy she nearly cries. She has electricity. No more sitting alone in candlelight through the dark. After washing up and eating breakfast, Nora gets to work for the day. First, clear out the fridge space. This is the daily priority. The fridge restocks once enough items are pulled out, so she has to empty it every single day. Then Nora starts reorganizing the vault. Yesterday's haul was massive. Too much, too messy, all of it dumped in the newly expanded section. Most of it is luxury goods. Sticking to the zoning system she already established, Nora moves the RVs and business vans into the transport zone first, then stuffs the delivery packages in. The knives she brought back are sharper than any she's ever used. She pulls them out one by one to test the grip, picks a few that fit her hand for the weapon zone, and sends the rest to general supplies. She's hauled back so much furniture and decor that Nora finally opens up a home decor zone. She debates whether wooden furniture goes in home decor or energy. Then she decides, forget it, move on. First, open the gold vault. Nora stacks the entire wall of gold bullion into a pyramid. Looking at the glittering mountain in front of her, she finally understands the deep satisfaction of being rich. It would be even better if she could actually wear gold around. Sadly, that's just a thought. Nora orders all the jewelry and gold trinkets piled on top of the gold mountain. Then her eyes shift to the wine and the luxury goods. The 16 high-end villas held an absurd amount of luxury fashion and wine collections. Nora opens a wine zone first. But how does she handle all this luxury? Trash it? Nora decides to first gather all the unopened skincare and put it in the daily essentials zone. Used products can go, obviously, but she can't toss anything down into the floodwater. So she opens a temporary disposal zone. The most useless luxury item by far is high heels. Wearing those in an apocalypse is asking for a broken ankle. The whole pile goes straight to disposal. Handbags have some utility. She picks about 100, the largest and most expensive, and ditches the rest. She keeps all the clothing, especially the mink and fur coats. There may come a day she needs them. Working flat out until noon, Nora finishes sorting the vault and ends with 200 cubic meters of free space. Not a bad result. Now that electronics work again, she doesn't have to sit in silence anymore. After lunch, Nora pulls out her tablet and finds the latest variety show to watch. For the next 4 days, Nora lives a simple, comfortable life. Every day, if she's not working out, she's learning archery from Hazel and picking up handgun tips from her on the side. But the situation inside the building is getting worse. 2 days after Nora's run, the rain stops. People think they're seeing hope. Until that same night, a sudden downpour floods the 5th floor. Residents don't even have time to move their furniture out. After that, the rain comes and goes, sometimes light, sometimes heavy. The 6th floor families panic about the same thing happening to them and move everything out first. 4 families end up huddled in the hallway considering joining the self-rescue committee, but the membership requirement is handing over all their food. The 4 families bolt as soon as they hear. The self-rescue committee's situation is even worse. When Walter Tate first formed the committee, he announced food would be distributed to elderly and children first. But Travis Wynn pushed back, rallied 4 or 5 large men, and seized the food distribution himself. How could he hand out food on schedule? People go hungry every other day. Even drinking water requires waiting in line for a number. Some are unhappy with his methods. Others, the smart ones, back him fully and even suck up to him to grab perks. The ones unhappy with him elected Walter Tate as their leader, and the self-rescue committee split into 2 factions, falling apart every time hunger hit. This morning, Walter Tate brings his whole family to find Travis Wynn. He has no choice. He himself has gone hungry for 2 days. Nothing in his stomach, just water to keep going. His young grandson is wailing himself hoarse from hunger. His daughter-in-law is wiping tears and openly accusing him, chasing authority while letting his grandson starve. Walter Tate feels the unfairness. He didn't fight Travis over power alone. The man is too cunning, too opportunistic. Walter is afraid the self-rescue committee he founded will turn into something dark. On his side are mostly elderly residents who stayed home to watch their grandchildren. The fit, working-age members of those households all disappeared somewhere. The old folks have only each other. 3 families total. When Travis sees them coming, he laughs. Old people in their 50s and 60s, what can they actually do? Travis sneers, deliberately pulls out a small bag of bread, and tears it open right in front of them, eating piece by piece. The people around watch, ravenous. Walter Tate swallows hard, looks at the elders beside him. Every face is pale, drained. He clears his throat. Vice President Wynn, we're here to check inventory. Is there really no food left? Travis takes a bite of bread. Nope. This is the last piece. I went hungry all day yesterday, too. A loud bang cuts through the room. An older man in his 60s slams the table. Don't push your luck. Everyone knows you're squirreling food away for yourself. Travis Wynn, heaven sees what you do. Aren't you afraid of karma? Travis laughs. What did I do? Why would karma touch me? If heaven had eyes, it would have stopped the rain by now. And besides, you're not even a resident here. You're here babysitting your grandson on summer break, looking for Tate. What right do you have to speak? You. The old man's face goes red with rage. Walter Tate hurries to hold him back. Your heart medication ran out. Don't put yourself through this. After getting his old friend seated, Walter Tate turns to Travis. Fine. If you say there's no food, we need to go look for some ourselves. Any ideas? Travis says casually. What else? Recruit new members. Walter Tate blanks. Recruit how? What do you mean? Travis smiles. Except for floor 18. Every household in this building is a recruitment target. I already told my crew. This morning we start with the 5th and 6th floors, then floor 7 in the afternoon, going door to door. Walter Tate. What's your real plan? They don't want to join. You want to take their food? Travis says, why frame it that way? In the face of disaster, every family banding together for mutual support. Isn't that beautiful? Walter Tate's face goes pale. He stands up. Travis Wynn, this is illegal. You can't do this. Travis glances at him dismissive. Breaking down apartment doors earlier. Wasn't that illegal too? But you signed off, didn't you? People are about to starve. Are you really going to refuse my plan now? Refuse if you want? But what are you and your grandson going to eat? Walter Tate's eyes sweep over the others. Almost all of them came from the Villa district. They saw each other plenty of times before. Once upon a time, every one of them dressed sharp, donated to charity every year. Now even his 2 closest friends won't meet his eyes. His chest tightens. He turns to one of the younger men. Lynn, you don't want to follow me. I won't blame you. But are you really agreeing to take other people's food? Lynn grits his teeth. Mr. Tate, we're about to starve. Are we really supposed to worry about other people right now? Walter Tate's face drains of color. He sinks back into the chair. After a long pause, he says, I don't agree. If you launch this, start raiding apartments, the fallout will be catastrophic. Travis glances at the other 4 old men. You don't agree either? If I find food, I'll share some with you. This time, except for one who slams the table and refuses outright, the other 3 families start to waver. Walter Tate thinks of something. He bursts out, suddenly animated. Don't go raiding. I have another idea. We can go to floor 18 and borrow the boats. Travis looks at him. After a moment, he laughs out loud. Are you sure? That guy has a rifle. He's almost certainly more brutal than I am. You think they'll lend you a raft? Walter Tate looks even more excited. Won't know until we try. I'll go right now. His eyes sweep the room. If I get the rafts, will you all come with me? Most of them are tempted now, but none of them dare speak with Travis right there. Whether they want to go outside or not, getting a raft would be a clear win. Definitely better than raiding, right? Travis snorts. If you have the guts to go, I won't stop you. He looks at Walter Tate. Tate, you said you'd borrow rafts. We'll wait right here for your good news. But hurry. If my guys go hungry much longer, they might lose it and start the recruitment drive before you get back. Walter Tate doesn't hesitate. He stands and heads straight down to floor 18. The fire stairs are locked. He can only pound on the door, loud enough to break through. He knows plenty of elderly residents and children have come up begging for food recently. But the 3 young people upstairs never come to the door, even if the chance of getting a raft is slim. Slim hope still beats raiding strangers. Anyone here? I'm not here for food. I want to borrow a raft. My name is Walter Tate. I'm the chair of the self-rescue committee. Please come talk to me. I won't do anything bad. His voice is loud enough that Nora and Hazel in the home gym hear it clearly, but they can't make out what he's saying. The 2 of them glance at each other. Hazel says, "Another food beggar? Want to look?" Nora looks at her. "You want to go out?" Hazel sighs. "I don't dare anymore. Last time I went out, an old woman dragged her grandson up here and knelt at my feet. I bolted back inside. In this situation, who's going to share food? You and my brother nearly threw your lives away to bring that food back." Nora exhales. Outside, the banging against the chain lock grows louder. It sounds like whoever's out there is hitting the lock on purpose. Nora deliberately chose the apartment farthest down the hall for her gym. She frowns. "Something's going on." "Let me check." Hazel, "I'm coming too." Nora nods. The 2 walk out into the corridor. Walter Tate's eyes light up. "You finally came. I'm Walter Tate. I'm the chair of the self-rescue committee. I want to borrow a raft." "A raft?" Nora isn't surprised. She'd actually expected someone to ask. The last few days, the rifle shot probably scared most people off. Nobody dared come up. Walter Tate rushes to add, "That's right, just a raft. Our food is running out. We need to go scavenge. Floor 18 has the only rafts in this building. That's why I came up." Hazel glances at Nora. Nora has plenty of rafts, technically. She stays quiet for a moment, then says, "Why should I lend them to you?" Walter Tate blurts out, "Shouldn't we help each other out?" Nora says nothing. He pushes on. "How about this? Every time we borrow the raft, we'll bring back a share of supplies for you." Nora shakes her head. "That puts all the risk on me. What if you take the raft and don't come back? The flooding isn't a joke anymore." Walter Tate frowns. "What do you want? Give me your terms and I'll bring them back to the others." Nora cuts straight to it. "Every time you borrow the raft, you pay me something up front. Anything. Food. Water. Gold. I'll take gold." The real reason she's setting this term is to avoid being seen as a soft touch. In the early days of the apocalypse, being the soft touch is what gets you killed. Walter Tate thinks of the gold jewelry his family grabbed before evacuating. Quietly, he's pleased. "Done. I'll go discuss it with the others. If they agree, I'll come straight back down." Nora nods, watching him turn and head back upstairs. Hazel looks at Nora. "Nora, we only have 4 rafts total. Are we really lending all of them?" "4 is enough," Nora says. "We don't need them right now, but if we don't let them go out and find food themselves, it'll become our problem." Hazel thinks about the old woman who shows up at her door daily. True. Meanwhile, Walter Tate climbs up to floor 20. His legs are dragging, but his face is bright with relief. Travis lives up there. To meet him, Walter has to take the stairs. He hasn't eaten in 2 days. He has nothing left in the tank. And being older, going up and down the stairs twice now, his whole body is drenched in sweat. Unexpectedly, Travis is standing at the floor 20 stairwell, smoking. Thinking the job is done, Walter Tate straightens up, grinning proudly. "Vice President Nguyen, I'm back." Travis curls his lip, stubs out the cigarette, slips the half-burned remainder into his pocket. "Tate, let's go upstairs to talk. There's something I want to discuss." Walter Tate really can't take another flight of stairs. He frowns. "Can't we talk here?" "Travis, I want to discuss the team going out. It's dangerous out there. Picking the right crew isn't easy. Let's hash it out privately first. Things will go smoother." Walter Tate is happy that Travis flipped so fast. "Fine. Quick. Let's not keep them waiting." Travis smiles. "Sure." The building has 21 floors total. This is the first time Travis has helped Walter climb up to the top floor. He opens the fire door. Fresh air pours in. Outside, the rain pounds down. Walter Tate gets soaked. He frowns. "Why did you open the door? Let's just discuss the list quickly." Travis turns. His right hand slips behind his back, beneath his waistband, and emerges with a hammer. From the day he picked up that hammer, he never intended to give it back. A heavy thud. The hammer comes down on the top of Walter Tate's skull. The sound is sharp, sickening. Before Walter Tate can call out, Travis drags him out into the rain. His eyes go wide in disbelief. Travis sees he hasn't gone under yet and brings the hammer down a second time. The heavy rain washes everything clean fast. Travis is strong, but the rooftop wall is high. He struggles to lift Walter Tate up and slam his head against the railing. "Old man, you've been starving for days. How are you still this heavy? Loved calling me vice president, didn't you?" Travis curses, crouches down at Walter Tate's feet, lifts his legs, and props his whole body against the rough concrete wall. Walter Tate's scraped face drags hard against the wall, leaving a long, dark streak. When he goes over, the top floor makes no sound. Walter Tate vanishes, silent and gone, just like that. Not a single person comes to the window to look. Travis's mouth pulls into a wide grin. He fixes his expression and races down to floor 20. "He's gone!" he yells loud. "He's gone! Walter Tate ended it!" Everyone waiting on floor 20 rushes out. They see Travis at the door, soaked from head to foot. The old man who'd slammed the table earlier says, "Impossible! What nonsense are you spouting?" Travis says, "I just went upstairs to smoke. Tate came back and said floor 18 wouldn't lend us the rafts. Then he lost it and ran up to the roof. Maybe I could have stopped him, but by then he was already breaking. I didn't react in time. He bolted up to the top and threw himself over." The old man's eyes go wide. "Impossible! He wouldn't end it." Travis stares him down. "He did, right in front of me." The old man flinches, suddenly cold to the bone. "It's floor 18's fault," Travis says. "If they'd lent us the rafts, this wouldn't have happened." The room goes silent. There's no telling how many of them believe him and how many don't, but the chill spreads through every chest. This isn't the world they used to know. Travis says, "Tate founded our self-rescue committee. He's left behind a widow and a fatherless child on floor 14. I propose giving them the food I just ate, that last half piece of bread, to comfort them." He pauses, deliberate. His eyes flick over the crowd. Then he adds, "And to keep us all tight and unified, from this moment forward, I'm assuming the chair of the self-rescue committee. Any objections? Raise a hand. Nobody dares. Even the old man who slammed the table goes silent." Travis grins. "If nobody objects, then I'm sworn in right now. First order of business, we all go recruit new members together. Floor 18. Nora and Hazel continue training." About half an hour later, Hazel says, confused, "Why hasn't Mr. Tate come back down? Did they refuse to trade supplies for the raft?" Nora finds it odd too. From what she saw, they definitely had gold up there. They wouldn't even part with a single bracelet? Nora shakes her head. "No idea. Let's keep going with archery." Hazel nods. "I think you've come a long way recently. Your draw strength has gone up a lot. Try the compound bow now. It's not like we're competing. Don't be too strict about it. What matters is whether you can use it in a real fight." Nora thinks about it. She agrees. The system has added 5 points of strength, 5 of constitution, and 7 of speed to her stats. By any measure, her physique already exceeds an ordinary person's. "The compound bow shouldn't be a problem. Let me try." Hazel says, "We'll need a thicker target. Compound bows hit hard and have serious range. The distance in the gym is too short. Let's move to the living room. From here to the kitchen. That should be enough." Hazel says she'll grab a few thick boards to back the target. Nora has no objection. The two carry the target out of the gym. Nora's eyes wander around the living room and settle on the dining table. "What if we use the stone tabletop instead?" "What's it called?" Hazel touches it. "Pretty sure that's slate." She thinks for a second. "We have some adhesive remover at our place, I think. Hold on, I'll get my brother." Nora says, "If it doesn't work, we just flip the table. I don't eat here anyway." Hazel nods and heads back to find Knox. Nora bends down, studying the seam between the slate and the table frame. She doesn't see how even adhesive remover would separate them cleanly. Right then, from the floors below, a wail rips through the building. A pure, awful scream. Nora freezes. "System, what's happening?" The system says, "Host, It's the household that used to live on the 5th floor, currently on floor 16. Their food is being taken. Nora, walk me through it. Self-rescue committee members. They told the floor 5 household they're being recruited into the committee, but the condition is handing over all their food. Nora frowns. Didn't Walter Tate just come up to borrow a raft? Were those people really that attached to a bit of gold? System. Walter Tate was silenced by Travis Wynn. Nora curses under her breath. Living up to the side villain role? That was fast. Why did he take him out? The system says his original design is power-hungry, attention-seeking, control-obsessed. Cuts down anyone who threatens his control. Nora clicks her tongue. A knock at the door. Then Hazel's voice. Nora, it's us. Nora opens the 3 locks. Hazel rushes in, jittery. What's happening down there? That scream was awful. Nora says nothing. Knox says, they've gone hungry long enough to crack. They're taking food. Hazel's face stiffens. Really? She sighs, voice low. So it's finally happening. The 3 of them are quiet. Then Knox says, starting tonight, we sleep light. No deep sleep. Nora nods. The screaming below doesn't stop. All day long, the screams come in waves. On, off, on again, beating into the nerves of everyone in the building. By night, the fighting finally quiets down. After Nora showers, she draws the double curtains in the living room, turns on a soft bedside lamp, and pulls out her tablet. She's about to start a show when she hears something at the balcony window, like someone tossing pebbles up at her glass. Nora frowns, stows the tablet and lamp into the vault, lights a candle, and walks to the balcony. She pulls the curtain back. Outside is pitch black, heavy rain still falling. Then, a hard thud. Nora confirms someone is hitting her window with something. She looks up first. Nothing strange above. Then, she looks down. A faint glow from the window directly below, like someone lighting a cigarette. Whoever it is has noticed her now. They're knocking faster on their window, sending a steady rhythm up through the wet night. Then they hold up the cigarette repeatedly, as if signaling something. Nora thinks for a moment. She blows out the candle. 5 minutes later, she opens the front door and steps into the hallway. Someone is waiting. Nora lights the candle in her hand. It's an older man, somewhere around 60. His build is small, probably always was, and now hunger has stripped him down to skin and bones. His back hunches slightly. His eyelids droop. He looks like a man waiting to die. Nora hangs back behind the fire door, cautious but relaxed. What do you want? The old man speaks, agitated. Did Walter Tate come to find you today? Nora knows what he's here for. Yes. He gets more animated, presses against the door. Did he ask to borrow a raft? Did you lend it? Nora says, I told him if he brought me supplies up front, I'd lend him one. The man's legs almost give out. His face crumples. I knew it. I knew it. Of course. Tate, you didn't deserve to go like this. He breaks down crying. Nora stays quiet. She doesn't leave. He wipes his face, looks up at her. Sorry, young lady. Tate and I knew each other over 30 years. He always wanted to be a leader, but he was a good man. I didn't think this would be the end. Nora, my condolences. His face is ashen gray. Us old folks, we don't have much time left anyway, but I've got a grandson at home. Tate has a daughter-in-law and a grandson. What do they do now? Nora is quiet for a moment. You could wait 2 more days. There might be a rescue team. Now that the solar superstorm's residual effects are gone, someone has to be trying to restore airlinks. According to the novel, the first rescue team arrives in 6 days. 6 days feels long, but with every form of transportation badly damaged, even getting a single helicopter airborne again isn't simple. The pilots brave enough to fly first have basically signed a death waiver, and with the rain showing no sign of stopping, it's nearly a coin toss with their lives. The old man hears Nora's reassurance. It doesn't loosen anything in him. If anything, he looks more broken. He says, young lady, you don't understand. Tate and I both wanted rescue. But we also feared people risking their lives to come for us. We've lived more than half a life. We were hoping to spend the rest of our days quiet. And out of nowhere, this solar superstorm. Tate's older son was overseas on business. The younger one got called into work that night. No word since. No way to know if they're still alive. The old man's voice cracks. My son is in the military. I have no idea what's happening with him either. Nora frowns. Hold on, a few more days. A helicopter has to come. The old man shakes his head. Then his cloudy eyes light up. Young lady. The raft. How do you land it? Could I borrow one? Nora looks at his rail-thin body and chalk-white face. She frowns. You're going out? What else can I do? Ask Travis Wynn for food? I have to go. The old man pleads. There are mothers and grandsons depending on me right now. The kids have already been hungry a full day. Young lady, what do you need from me to borrow that raft? Nora thinks. You don't have food? But I'll take gold. The old man mutters. Gold. Tate's daughter-in-law has some gold. Nora says, if you're set on borrowing the raft, come find me at dawn. Cash on the barrel. The old man firm. No problem. Nora doesn't sleep well that night. When she wakes up and checks her phone, it's around 4:30 in the morning. Nora considers it, gets ready, takes a raft from the vault, and goes to the fire door. Someone is already waiting, but only two people. The frail old man from last night and a young woman. He sees Nora and gets agitated. Young lady, did you bring it? Nora studies the young woman beside him. She was probably very pretty before, big eyes, fair skin, but now her hair is a mess, her face hollow, her eyes full of fear. Nora, just the two of you? The old man introduces her. This is Tate's daughter-in-law. She insisted on coming. She says she'd rather both of us risk it than just one. And he hesitates. I don't know how you'll feel about this. She wants to look for her father-in-law's body. Don't worry, we won't bring him on the raft. We know what's appropriate. These days, everyone is dumping trash into the water below. Whether that water carries anything worse, nobody can say. Nora shakes her head. It's fine. I brought the raft. Did you bring gold? The old man glances at the young woman. She carefully pulls a gold bracelet from her pocket, eyeing Nora warily. You promised to lend us the raft. Nora, of course. After a couple seconds of hesitation, the woman slides a gold necklace through the gap in the door. Nora takes the gold, weighs it. Not enough. The young woman stiffens. Nora continues. Your risk is too high. You may not come back. The bracelet and necklace alone aren't enough. The young woman flares up. We said cash on the barrel. Then add more. If you don't want to, I can give these back. Nora is calm. The woman looks at the old man. He hesitates, then nods. She pulls out a diamond ring. This is my wedding ring. It's the last thing I have on me. If it's still not enough, I'm out. Nora doesn't believe an experienced old man would surrender his last card so easily. She accepts the ring, unlocks the fire door, and passes through 2 packs of cream sandwich cookies and 2 bottles of hot brown sugar water. The old man freezes. What's this? Nora says. You haven't eaten in a long time. You won't have the strength to row. I don't want my raft going under, so you finish all of this in front of me. None of it goes back to the kids. The old man and the woman exchange a glance. They start eating in silence. The old man is sharp. While eating, he palms at least 3 biscuits. Nora doesn't call him out. Once they finish, she hands the raft through the gap. Good luck. After they leave, Nora carefully relocks the fire door, goes back to bed, and tries to sleep more. She sleeps straight through until 10:30. Her head is still hazy when a piercing scream rips through the building. A woman's voice. Pure horror. Shrieking. Someone jumped. Someone jumped with a baby. Nora is wide awake now. She moves fast, out of the bedroom, onto the balcony, curtains thrown back. She's not the only one. People all along the building are stepping onto their balconies, scanning. All they can see is sheeting rain. The woman who screamed isn't screaming anymore. The complex falls silent. Nora looks down at the water. Trash, broken branches, motorbikes inexplicably carried in by the current. So much debris that even spotting a body would be hard. Forget a child's body. Nora steps back from the window, back into the living room. She picks up the compound bow and lines up a target. At the same moment, on the floor directly below, another fight breaks out. Nora knows Travis Wynn is continuing the raids. A thought hits her. System. Knox and Hazel are in this building too. Did they end up in a clash with Travis? The system answers. The author didn't describe specifically, so Unit 00125 also doesn't know. Nora figures something probably happened. But if Travis is still alive by the end, the outcome can't be great. She looses an arrow. Right then, the system speaks. Host, Slade is leaving his apartment. Nora perks up. The plot beat is hitting now? Yes. Today is the day Slade goes out and meets Sloane Chen. In the novel, Zoe was running a fever, so Sloane had no choice but to go look for fever meds. She had no boat, so she pried a door panel off as a raft, and Slade rescued her. He gave her fever meds and a box of bread. Nora's mouth pulls into a small grin. Not happening now. The system. Sloane isn't going out. That's true. But who knows what kind of lucky encounter Slade might stumble into? He's the favored son of fate. Nora slowly knocks another arrow on the compound bow. The system wisely shuts up. Hazel didn't come over today. Nora trains alone with the compound bow until both elbows ache, then finally stops. She stows the bow, pulls out a massage device, and works her arm while asking, "How's Slade doing?" The system answers, glum. He went out, but didn't run into Sloane Chen. After he got home, a woman showed up at his door looking for him. Nora. Whoa. The system sounds frustrated. Host, are you really just here to be impressed? With her, he gets clan contribution points. This is a serious blow to us. Nora moves the massager to another spot. Don't tell me you thought one move would take down the male lead. If it were that easy, he wouldn't be the male lead, would he? The system recovers its confidence. True. Host, ya make a good point. We must keep pushing. Nora asks, who is she? A housewife around 32. Has a husband at home. The husband eats, lies down, repeats. They prep nothing. Nora frowns. Slade wants to play the seducer routine. The system indicates it doesn't follow. Just as Nora's about to explain, there's a knock at the front door. With the fire stair locked down, the only people knocking are the two neighbors. Nora stashes the massager into the vault, does a quick sweep of the room, makes sure nothing weird is visible, then heads to the door. Through the peephole, she sees Knox. Strange. He's wearing a face mask. Something feels off. Nora reaches for the door. The moment she touches the handle, Knox speaks from outside. Nora, don't open the door. I came to tell you. Hazel's running a fever. About 37.5. Around 99.5 degrees. She's been with you the last 2 days. Watch your temperature tonight. Nora frowns. Has she taken fever meds yet? Just now. Knox's voice through the mask sounds tired. She's physically tough. Don't worry about her. Nora doesn't think it's that simple. What about you? Are you okay? Knox answers. Fine, but she just started running a fever. We can't confirm it's not contagious yet. We shouldn't see each other for a while. Okay, Nora thinks, then adds, stay safe. If you need anything, come find me. After Knox leaves, Nora carefully runs through the details in her head. In wet, damp environments, illness spreads fast. The novel did mention a lot of people falling sick during this stretch, some of them not making it, but the timing doesn't quite match. Nobody knew exactly how the disease spread either. Hard to call it right or wrong. Hopefully they all come through this safely. Nora exhales, pulls out a cluster of grapes and an apple from the vault. Yesterday she decided to cut dinner starting tonight. With everyone else turning to skin and bones, she can't sit here getting plump. A little after 8, she's about to start another show when something hard cracks against the living room window. Nora knows the old man is back. She grabs a face mask from the vault and heads out. She thinks for a second, opens the hallway window a crack, and stands well back. Compared to last night, Yu's energy is dramatically better. His eyes are bright. Young lady, come open up. I'm here to return your raft. After Nora takes the raft, Yu beams. We're good now. The food we found should hold us at least a week. Nora is genuinely happy for him. After a beat, she asks, are you still in there with that self-rescue committee crowd? Yu's face curls in contempt. How could I be? Hang around someone like Travis Wynn? I gave my supplies to the floor 17 tenants. I'm staying in their place. Nora. Good. Yu sighs. Just feels bad for the other old folks up there. Travis isn't going to let them live easy. After the sigh, Yu suddenly looks puzzled. Young lady, why the mask? There's someone running a fever on our floor, Nora says. The situation isn't clear. You should be careful too. Yu's face changes. Fever? If it's contagious, no telling how many people are going to die. Nora doesn't say anything. Yu's eyes go vacant. What is the universe doing? How's your sick friend? Running hot? Nora answers, over 100. Holding steady for now. Over 100. Yu's eyes shift. Young lady, hard to find a doctor right now. As luck has it, I happen to know an older doctor in this building. Nora hears the deal coming before he finishes. She frowns. Oh, you want to introduce her? Yu hurries to say, what introduction? Didn't you lend me the raft? He stresses the word lend. If your friend gets worse tonight, you can come down to apartment 1701. We just need a little food. Nora locks it in. Floor 17, the apartment you're in. How do you know them? Yu says, there's just two of them, an older woman and a son in his 30s. The son works at the research institute, lab all day. She's 65. A senior specialist at the regional hospital. They were both too busy to stockpile. I passed through this building plenty of times, so I knew them. If they hadn't been totally out of food, she wouldn't have let us in for a few packets of instant noodles. Nora. She's willing to treat people? It's dangerous out there. Starving people don't worry about danger. Yu pulls a face. I'm this old and I still had to go out for a whole day. His pout makes Nora laugh. She bargains for fun. Fine, if we need it, I'll come find you. But I only took gold for the raft. You're already asking for food. That's a stretch. Yu's eyes go wide, like she's saying something insane. She's a doctor, a senior specialist. Normally, you can't even get an appointment with one. Anyway, think about it. If anything happens, come find us downstairs. If you don't want to give food, then loaning us the raft 3 more times works too. Nora just nods. Done. Agreed. After Yu heads downstairs, Nora knocks on the neighbor's door and relays the story to Knox through the door. Both of them hope they won't need the doctor. But that night, Hazel's fever spikes to 39, about 102 degrees. For an adult, a fever that high is no joke. It can cause delirium, even loss of consciousness. Knox wakes Nora up fast and asks her to watch the fire stairs while he goes down. Nora is genuinely worried. The novel didn't mention these two. Is Hazel going to be okay? About 10 minutes later, Knox comes up with an older woman. Nora opens the fire stairs for them quickly. Knox tells her to stay a meter back. He goes into his apartment with the older woman. His voice carries strain. Thanks. Sorry, I need you to lock the stairwell behind us. Nora hums in response. Her eyes track the senior specialist. Looks about 50, very thin, but something quick and sharp behind her eyes. There's a large pack on the woman's back, heavy looking. Hard to tell if it's clothes or meds inside. The 3 don't talk long. Knox leads her in. Nora is about to lock the stairwell when she turns and spots Yu standing outside, the small, gaunt man. She's surprised. What are you doing up here? Yu says, don't call me that. Call me Yu Great Fortune. Nora, Mr. Yu, why are you up here? You'll catch something. He points at the mask on his face. That young man gave it to me. We're far apart anyway, and there's a door between us. What's the problem? Hurry! Lock the door. I have something to tell you. If I don't tell you, I won't sleep tonight. Nora has to laugh. She didn't expect his reason to be this simple. She walks over, locks the stairwell, then looks up. Okay, what is it? Yu glances east-west, scanning the corridor. You probably don't know yet. I just heard Travis Wynn is running a fever too. Nora freezes, stunned. Yu says, I'm thinking he definitely doesn't have meds. All he thought about was stockpiling food. Why would he stockpile medicine? Every household is hiding meds now. If his fever spikes tonight, he's going to start raiding for it. Be careful. Nora considers it. Got it. Thanks for the heads up. After a pause, she adds, Mr. Yu. If Travis comes down to floor 17 looking for a doctor, just tell him straight that the doctor's up here with us. Don't hide it. Yu hesitates. But Nora cuts in. We can handle it. Just make sure none of you get hurt. And hide all the food. Yu bows his head, thinking. Finally, Jaw said, "Fine." Nora turns and heads back into her apartment. The reason she said that is because she thinks she's seen this pattern. If the original timeline were untouched, Hazel and Travis sick on the same night. Without her presence affecting how Knox and Hazel develop, they probably wouldn't have found the doctor on floor 17. But Travis is different. He'd bang on every apartment door in this building. Now the doctor is with them. Which means blind luck, rewrote Travis's fate. Nora's eyes light up slightly. If this theory holds, she's just hit it big. Not only does it set up Travis getting knocked out, more importantly, it saves her friend. 2 birds, 1 stone. Too keyed up to sleep, Nora pulls out the compound bow and knocks an arrow. About half an hour later, sure enough, noise from upstairs. Tonight, Travis will not find treatment, unless he has the guts to charge floor 18. Will he come? From what Nora knows, Travis is the type. Predatory, cunning, arrogant, hypersensitive to being underestimated. Loud in public. Plenty of flaws. One redeeming trait. He values his own skin. In the novel, when he first shows up, he's been living in the sewers for a long time. A filthy rat, sticking his head out every day to check the wind, bolting at the smallest movement. For a man that protective of his own life, Nora bets he'll come. But he'll do it dressed up as civilized. Sure enough, less than an hour later, she hears something hitting the fire door downstairs. She puts on a mask, picks up the compound bow and quiver, walks out fast, and stops well back from the door. Travis's side has someone holding a candle. Nora is in the dark. She can see his red flushed cheeks faintly, the slightly manic edge in his face. Travis isn't a fool. The moment he sees her, he forces himself to steady, lays on his smoothest tone. "Dr. Chu is up here on your floor, right? I'd like her to take a look at me. Is that possible?" At that moment, Nora hears apartment 1802's door open. She shakes her head at Knox. He hesitates, then chooses to trust her. Once 1802 is closed again, Nora says, "Dr. Chu can't leave right now." "I don't think I can help you." Travis frowns. "I know last time was a misunderstanding. If you'll just let Dr. Chu come out, I'll trade 10 packs of instant noodles or 1.5 kilos of rice. Everything before water under the bridge." Nora plays dumb. "Something happened before? You mean us pointing a rifle at you?" Travis smiles, but his eyes don't. "Ha, let's not bring up old times. Not happy with the terms? I'll add another 2.5 kilos of rice. I really do mean it. I want Dr. Chu's help. Nora. And I really do mean it. Dr. Chu isn't seeing you." Travis realizes they're going to refuse. His eyes go dark, fury rising to the surface like he wants to peel Nora apart. "Don't push this too far. You think you're untouchable because you have a rifle? I have plenty of guys. How many can you take down?" Nora says, flat, "Try sending them all at once." Travis, "Don't think we won't. People will die for fortune. Birds will die for food. You brought back this much. You should have shared with us a long time ago." Nora raises the compound bow. She's standing in shadow. The candle only lights part of her body. Travis can barely make out that she's lifting something. But whatever it is, it's not a rifle. Travis guesses it might be a bow. He learned that day the Floor 18 siblings are competitive athletes. He just doesn't know her exact background. She's a competitive archer? Uncertain. His head is getting heavier by the second. He says, "What do you want? We're still negotiating. Or are you really thinking we have no other option?" Nora doesn't bother talking anymore. Whip, she looses the arrow. A loud crash. The fire stair window shatters. The arrow flies straight for Travis. Based on her training and the system's boost, she's 100% sure she'll hit this predator. In that hair's breadth instant, Travis's pupils blow wide with fear. He yanks the people closest to him in front of him on instinct. A scream tears out of the stairwell. The man he grabbed happens to be the one holding the candle. The whole hallway plunges into darkness. The 6 men outside lose it. Some try to help. Some panic and run. About 4 or 5 minutes later, Travis is on his knees on the floor, fumbling for the candle, relighting it. Holding the rough candle in his hand, his eyelid twitches. He doesn't even glance at the wound on his crewmate. He stares straight at where Nora is standing. Then he curses under his breath. Damn it. Nora has already knocked the second arrow. She holds the bow, calm, looking at them. Once the others see this, they put 100 yards between themselves and Travis as fast as their feet can move. Travis can't even spit out another curse. His head is splitting, and now he has to worry about Nora loosing another arrow without warning. Right then, Nora pings the system. He doesn't have anyone next to him to grab now. Can I land it? The system thinks. Hard to say. Want to try? Nora doesn't want to risk it for one shot, but she also can't ignore the itch in her hand. About 5 seconds in, just as she's about to release, Travis shouts from the other side. Wait! Nora pauses, pulls her eye from the sight. Travis slams the candle into the floor. Sparks scatter. Damn it! Let me see how you shoot now. Move. Behind the door. We break this fire door down. The corridor goes pitch black. Can't see a thing. Nora, very obedient, stashes the bow in the vault and pulls out the handgun. Are you sure? Actually, I do have a handgun too. Punching through a wooden door shouldn't be a problem. The stairwell goes dead silent. In the dark, a hesitant voice. Boss, we need to head back up. Lynn's still bleeding. Right. Let's go find clotting medicine fast. What do we do with the arrow? Pull it out? What if he doesn't make it? Travis cuts in fast. I still haven't gotten fever meds. Damn it. Travis stares at Nora, lethal. I didn't think this woman would be this cold. Nora says, We're even. You used your own crew as a shield, didn't you? The stairwell falls silent again until Lynn moans in pain. Travis grinds his teeth. The most pressing thing is he doesn't know whether his fever is about to cook his brain. His head is heavier by the minute. He can barely stand. No choice. Travis says, Let's go. Before leaving, he turns back. You witch. I'll remember this. If I get my chance, you're going to find out exactly what that means. Nora doesn't reply. The handgun in her hand silently shifts back to the compound bow. She looses another arrow toward where his voice came from. A whip. No idea if it landed. She doesn't hear a cry. She tilts her head, listens. Just chaotic footsteps fleeing up the stairs. Worried someone might lay an ambush, Nora doesn't lower the bow right away. She waits, silent. The corridor is empty. The window glass is shattered. Nora steps cautiously to the door, a few dark stains on the floor. No way to tell whose. Nora really hopes some of it is Travis's. System. How'd it go? Did we punch through? The system answers cheerfully. Congratulations, host. Hit the shoulder. Only a graze, but a graze counts. Should have used the handgun. Nora rolls her wrist. The system says, Host, your call was still right. What if the handgun jammed? The fact you injured him at all shows his life value is dropping. Nora laughs. Plus, Travis is smart. He took the arrow back with him, probably trying to reduce your stockpile. Nora shrugs. Let him grab it. I have plenty. The system chuckles. Just then, Nora hears a door opening behind her. She turns. It's Knox. She asks without thinking, How's Hazel? Knox has a rifle in one hand. The other hangs at his side. Dr. Chu's monitoring her. I didn't hear any noise, so I came out. Thanks for blocking Travis. Nora can't exactly say she's working on a mission. She clears her throat. No problem. We're partners, right? And Hazel and I are friends. Knox is quiet for 2 seconds. Tomorrow morning, I'll tell you how she's doing. I'll take watch the rest of the night. Get some rest. Nora thinks it over. Fair enough. She nods. Okay. Tomorrow I take watch. The next morning at 9, Nora wakes up feeling clear-headed. Even with the chaos until midnight, her mood and energy are good today. She washes up, clears out the fridge space, then heads out. Knox has moved a chair into the hallway. He's leaning back, eyes closed. He opens his eyes at the sound. They're bloodshot. Nora. How's Hazel? Knox stands, steps back toward his own door. Fever's down for now, but Dr. Chu says she needs to be watched. She's staying at our place for 7 days to determine whether it's contagious. Nora says, Travis is out there flailing around. If this is actually contagious, you can't really stop it. Knox shakes his head. Better to be careful, especially internally. We can't all go down. Nora, Yeah, go sleep. I'll watch. We're fine. Knox closes his eyes. Sorry to ask. Nora arches a brow, thinking, this guy's so formal. Hazel was right about how stiff he can be. It's fine. Doesn't slow me down. Knox nods, leaves the chair, and goes back inside. Looks like he plans to keep night watch. Nora can't watch the hallway like he can. So she heads back into her apartment and decides to do something fun today. Before the rain started, she scooped up a lot of delivery packages but never opened them. Nora lays a soft cushion in the center of the living room, sits cross-legged, and grabs a random package from the vault. The box reads Kirkland Tissues. No need to open this one? She moves it straight to Daily Essentials. The second random box isn't large. A knife appears in Nora's empty right hand. She slices the tape. She flips the cardboard flap. About a dozen ruby red pomegranates inside, lined up neatly. The skin glows. She doesn't have any. Score. The next box is condiments, biscuits, snacks, and a jug of cooking oil. Looks like one big shopping run. The fourth box is all premium stuff. A full box of luxury dog food. Sadly, single dog doesn't get to eat it. The variety inside these packages is wild. From novelty items to college entrance exam prep books. Nora even cracks open a scam-looking package. She's been at this for 2 hours. Empty boxes piled all around her. Nora shakes out her aching wrists and decides to keep going. One box has 11 packs of sanitary pads. Take it, take it. One box of Asian pears. Decent quality. Why would anyone buy a whole crate of rubber bands? Was someone supplying their entire office? Nora opens box after box until evening. The whole living room is packed with empty cardboard. Her arms are dead. Who knew unboxing packages was this draining? Nora stands, touches each box one by one, dumps them all into the vault. System. Can you compress these into flat cardboard sheets? The system. Host. There's something I'm not sure I should say. Nora. Sweet. Then don't. The system dutifully flattens the boxes. Within 10 minutes, every carton is reduced to neat stacks of cardboard sheets. Nicely done. Nora smiles, pleased. She remembers the Asian pears she just unboxed. Pulls one out, biting into it while inspecting her work. Today's haul leaned heavily toward daily essentials, which means her stockpile of tissue paper, sanitary pads, and personal care just jumped. Plenty of fruit buyers, too. Several varieties she's never tried before. School must be about to start. Lots of school supplies, textbooks, pens. Enough pens to last her 3 lifetimes. Plus, cosmetics, skincare, clothing, snacks. Nora also turns up 5 brand new laptops and 2 pre-built gaming PCs, probably college students prepping for fall term. Overall, despite the soreness and the modest total value, the haul is solid and practical. The new fruit varieties especially make her twice as happy. At 8, Nora trades shifts with Knox. Hearing Hazel is stable, she finally relaxes and goes to bed early. At exactly 3 in the morning, the system jolts her awake. Every muscle in Nora's body aches. This better be important, or you and I are no longer host in system spirit. The system rushes to say, Host, good news. Good news? Nora's eyes snap open. What is it? The system. Host, remember the woman who showed up at Slade's store? Nora absolutely remembers. Don't stretch this out. Get to it. The system laughs, then gets to it. Actually, Slade isn't into her. Thinks she's not pretty enough, no culture. But right now he's so short on clan contribution points. He's currently telling himself he's sacrificing his body for clan contribution points. Nora. Puffed. She laughs out loud. Is that real? He's that arrogant? The system chuckles. That's not even the point. Because she's married, even though they meet every night. He has 0 feelings for her. They go straight to bed. This morning, because Slade's been working hard 2 nights running, he sleeps deep. Unexpectedly, the woman gets up, opens the front door, lets her husband in. The 2 of them are clearing out Slade's stockpile right now. Nora bursts into laughter. Suddenly the system raises its tone. Host Slade just woke up. Slade caught them sneaking around in the kitchen. Slade is enraged. pulled a sword from his storage space. The woman turned, saw him, screamed, dropped the basket of apples she was holding. The husband pulls a knife, charges Slade. But Slade is a reborn male lead. He runs the husband through easily. The kitchen is covered in crimson. All the food is soaked. The woman begs Slade to spare her. She kneels and begs him to remember she was his first woman. Slade runs her through too, the stomach. Nora shakes her head. Classic male lead decisive instinct. Goes for the weakest point. The husband is still bleeding out. The woman is too. The whole kitchen is crimson. All the food they pulled out, fruit, dry goods, rice, every bit is soaked through. Nora rushes to cut in. You don't need to describe the scene this carefully. The system. Oh, because of the woman's earlier scream, everyone in the building woke up. They came up together to check what happened. They found Slade's apartment door wide open. Nora's eyes go wide. They all charged into the kitchen. Too many of them. Slade couldn't take them all out. He got knocked to the floor. The food on the floor, soaked or not, they grabbed every piece and ran. A moment later, the system continues the live update. The neighbors all bolted. Slade has shut the door, thrown the two bodies down off the balcony, and is sitting on the living room floor, eviscerated by regret. By the way, that 8,000 Tetra lamp he was showing off to you, somebody walked off with that too. Scavenged the abandoned while the fire was burning. Nora doesn't know whether to laugh or cry. Stealing the lamp in the middle of that's a kind of genius. The system continues. Sitting alone on the floor, smelling the crimson in the air, Slade is in deep agony over moving too fast. He'll be much more careful going forward with women who show up at his door. Nora, hilarious. The system asks, curious, host. Do you think this affects Slade in a real way? Nora, it definitely affects him, but how much is hard to say. The food in the kitchen was out only because he wanted to show off. He still has plenty in his storage. It's just, putting in that much effort for 2 days and walking away with nothing? That does sting. The system cackles. Real heartbreak. As long as he doesn't get clan contribution points, it's good news for us. Nora decides to shift gears, put herself in Slade's shoes, figure out what he'll do next. His biggest problem now is where to find a woman. Given his taste, he only goes for beautiful women. He'll probably go to someone he already knows. The system. What do you mean? My guess. Latest tomorrow night, maybe tonight, he'll figure out how to get to Zoe Chen. In the original novel, he showed up as her rescuer. Without that hook, tomorrow he'll probably claim his apartment was raided, ask Zoe to share supplies, exploit her empathy to anchor himself onto her. The system can't believe it. Are you serious? That's basically all roads leading to one outcome. Nora shakes her head. Not necessarily. Sloane has supplies, but she's not easy to manipulate. There's another problem Nora is thinking about, but it's not the right time to say it out loud. She can faintly sense its shape, though. The next morning, Nora goes to take over for Knox as usual. Hazel ran another spike last night. Dr. Chu being there made the difference. She's stable now. Nora bets Travis upstairs isn't doing any better. After Knox heads back in, Nora is about to return to her own apartment for archery when a loud wailing breaks out upstairs. The sound carries down the stairs all the way to floor 18. A woman around 50, filthy from head to toe, bursts out of the stairwell, sobbing through the corridor. My poor son. Nora frowns. How to describe that voice? Like hiring a professional grief team for a funeral. Loud wailing, but nothing in it that pulls at you. The woman sinks to the floor and screams, "Anyone here? Come over and weigh in for our Lynn. This woman shot my son with an arrow. He's not going to make it. Who's going to compensate for my son's life? Is there any justice anymore? If my son dies today, I'll end it right here. My boy, my baby. Boo-hoo." Knox just barely got into his apartment. He hears the wailing and frowns, opens his door. Beyond him, the wailing has caught plenty of attention. The other tenants don't dare come up. They linger downstairs and whisper. Travis is going for a sympathy ploy. Nora gives Knox a look. Is she ruining your sleep? Want me to chase her off? Knox thinks a beat. No, I can sleep through it. Nora. Fine, get to bed. I have archery to practice. Knox nods. The woman outside sees them about to leave. She bolts to the fire door, jams an arm through the broken window. You two, pure evil. Walking away from a grieving family. I'm telling you, today, if you don't give me fever meds and antibiotics, I'm dying right here in front of your door. Let's see how you live after that. When the water recedes, you'll have 2 deaths on your hands. Nora notes the woman is filthy and her hair is wrecked, but she doesn't look like she's starving. She smiles. Are you Lynn's mother? If you've already decided to end it, why do we need to do right by you? You won't be around to care. The woman's eyes bug out. What do you mean? You're really going to watch someone die without helping? How can a young woman be this evil? Give me the meds. I'll write you and the boy a waiver. I'll vouch for you to the police later. Nora says, why would I need your vouching? Your son was raiding people. He hit how many households? I acted in self-defense. Plus he got used as a human shield. You should be crying at Chairman Wynn's door. The woman's face goes red. I don't care. I need fever meds and antibiotics. Hand Dr. Chu over so I can take her back. Or my son dies. Nora, are you sure it's your son who will die? Not Chairman Wynn. She blurts out, of course my son. Nora, amused. Your son is wounded. He doesn't need clotting medication? Bandages? Did he even pull the arrow out? What if it gets infected? Tetanus. The woman chokes. Of course he needs fever meds. The wound is infected and his temperature's climbing. We need anti-inflammatories too. Nora studies her, calm. Let your Chairman Wynn use his head. Don't bother crying here today. Even if you actually expire in this hallway, the most I'm doing is a water burial. Want meds? A doctor? Not a chance. The woman pulls in a long breath, realizes she's not getting fever meds. Her eyes dart around. Suddenly, she changes tack. Fine. I know you have issues with Chairman Wynn. I was forced into this. Just give me the meds for my son. I only need bandages and clotting medication. Nora, sorry. Don't have those either. The woman goes still, then breaks down sobbing again. My poor son. What am I going to do alone after this? A parent burying their child. I'd rather die. Nora and Knox glance at each other and head back into their apartments. The woman outside shrieks, Don't go. Don't you dare run. She slams the fire door hard. Neither apartment reacts. After thinking it over, she sits on the floor, rolls around crying, screaming for half an hour. Nobody pays attention. Eventually, with nothing left, she wipes her face clean. She doesn't dare go back upstairs, so she just lies down on the floor and sleeps. In the afternoon, Nora cracks the door open and spots the woman still lying there. Definitely not Lynn's biological mother. A real mother would have gone up to check on her son by now. Nora thinks for a moment, then deliberately jingles her keychain. Wake up! Can we talk? The woman couldn't possibly be sleeping deeply on a cold floor. She just screamed her throat out and needs rest. When she hears Nora calling, the woman shoots upright, eyes narrow with suspicion. What do you want? Just to talk, Nora says. Everyone's bored anyway. The woman glances toward floor 12 to confirm no one is watching from above. Nora asks, What's your actual relationship with this Lyle Lynn? I'm his mother, the woman says. Nora, let's just open the window and talk straight. Maybe I can help you find a way out. The woman's eyes go wide. I'm his nanny. My name is Mei Wen. When the rain hit, only the 2 of us were in the villa. Later, we evacuated here together. Originally, we came over with Mr. Tate. He's a good man, but Lyle didn't trust him and ended up siding with Travis Wynn. Mei sighs. Lyle isn't bad either. He just thinks only force keeps you alive now. Whatever he loots, he leaves me a share. Says all I have to do is watch the leftover supplies for him. Nora gets it. So you don't dare go back upstairs, because Lyle's prognosis is grim. If you go back, you have no out. Mei says nothing. Nora, Travis sent you down? Mei doesn't answer at first. She glances up the stairs one more time, then steps closer to the fire door and lowers her voice. Yes. How is he right now? Bad fever. Coughing, too. He stays in his room. The food's all hidden in there. We aren't allowed in. Nora, you haven't eaten since Lyle got hurt. That's a day. Want some biscuits?